Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 282. We have a wonderful guest for you today. So make sure you click to subscribe right now and ensure you never miss a journey. I post 1 to 2 episodes each week and each guest has a fascinating story to tell. Today we have Ali Shah, the founder of TapeReal, a social network app where you can record and only engage through audio and video. Hello, Ali.
Hello, Patience. Be on your show.
Thank you for coming. I know the clan is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started. Can you tell one thing that today we can learn from you that will help us on our journey to success by listening to your journey today?
Well, I think the importance of having purpose in your journey, on whether it's an entrepreneurship journey, startup journey, family relationship journey, could be any kind of journey that you want to pursue in life. And the importance of having a purpose behind it, I think, is going to make that journey more worthwhile.
I'm looking forward to that. Let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your own online business?
Sure. So I've had an entrepreneurial kind of itch for most of my life. I knew that that was my calling at a very young age. My father had a couple of franchise restaurants when I was young, which was sort of inspiring to me on how easy it is to just start a business if you have an idea. And, I actually ended up joining the workforce at a very young age. I think I was like 18 or 19 when I found my first full-time job, and I was still holding down school at the same time, which was not easy, but I was very ambitious at the time and probably had a lot more energy. I worked in like market research. I did a lot of consulting with a lot of different companies. I launched, I had a restaurant that I ran for 3 years before, trying to launch 2 different tech startups. Both of those startups ended up failing, but, I learned a lot in the process. And, I'm continuing to push forward with my current project, TapeReal.
That's a great background, Ali. I know you had this itch for finding your own business and started at a young age, but why do you do what you do?
Well, before it was, I think I was, trying to generate money through my business. I think that was probably something that led to my failures as well. I was more focused on, those success stories that you read about on TechCrunch and all the other, news outlets about successful businesses and entrepreneurs. And for me, it was all about achieving that status of success. But 2017, I reached a point in my life where I had a pretty big house, I had a couple of cars, wife and kids. I had a really good paying contract job. There was no reason for me to be unhappy, but I wasn't happy. And, I was going through a pretty depressive state and mindset. It was a dark period for me. And I decided to take a break from everything and took a journey down to South America, where I had some time away from everything and some pretty powerful transformative experiences. And when I came back, that's when I realized what was missing in my life, and which was purpose and human connection. I think for the past couple decades, with technology being so prevalent in our lives, whether it's social media or, digital, everything, the internet. It kind of took me away from relating to people one-on-one in a more human way. And it was after this journey that I truly understood that, I need to align myself to a purpose, and I need to focus on what is most important to me in my life and build my business around that.
Thank you for sharing. Let's put man aside because you are in business at a younger age and you're growing around your family business. How do you know you are successful into your new venture?
Well, it's still a learning process, and every day there are some new challenges. The way I like to approach it is I have a high level vision in mind, but if I think about that on a day-to-day basis, it's hard for me to take action. So I just approach every day as if it's like, okay, what are some key things that I need to get done today that are going to move me 1 inch closer to, to move my business forward. And it's those little inches that you do consistently on a daily basis that, turn into miles after a year or two. And so I don't think we're
Wow.
successful yet. I think there's still a lot for us to do, and I'm in this business for the long term, for the long game. I'm not trying to, identify one goalpost and say, okay, when I reach here, I'll be successful. For me, it's going to be a, 15, 20-year journey.
Tell us how to create a meaningful connection that lasts an eternity.
Well, I mean, I think in today's digital world, communicating through text is convenient, but it's also very instant, and it's led to some bad habits between people. I think when you connect, if you are going to use a digital medium, you should use your voice and video as much as possible, simply because you connect more naturally, as humans were meant to connect for millions and millions, well, however many thousands of years. So, yeah, I think if we do have this technology in our lives, it's important for us to connect and use it in a meaningful way. And most of the time, I'll tell you that even on my own app, I have made new friends, I've met new people, and my connection with them is stronger, and that connection actually translates better into other social mediums. So, after connecting with them through audio or voice on TapeReal, if I interact with them on other social channels like Twitter or Facebook, whether they like or reply to me, it's a completely different feeling, because I feel like I actually know the person who is replying to me, as opposed to somebody who randomly decides to comment or like.
You briefly touched on this pandemic. How have you pivoted in your business to fit what is happening right now?
Well, I think we've been in the right spot at the right time. The pandemic has sort of helped us because people are locked down. They're not able to socialize the way they used to. They're not able to connect the way they used to. And so they're looking for more meaning in their lives. I read an article recently that one of the number one podcasts is around religion and spirituality, and people are looking for that, especially now. They're locked into their own homes, and they have more time to reflect and think about, what were they prioritizing in their, prior life. And before the pandemic, it was all about go, 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 hustling. We had very limited time for anything. Everything was just very instant. It was a big rat race. And the more I speak to people, everyone keeps saying, like, the key theme in their messages is that by being locked down, they've had time to reconnect with themselves. They've had time to reflect over the priorities or the attention, or the things that they were giving attention to in their lives. And, and so they're looking for more meaningful connection. And our app is designed for that, because you have to show up as a real person, with your voice or video. And, it's all about the conversation and the dialogue. And this is something that I think has been missing from traditional social media. I mean, they call it social, but it's more media than it is about social connection between people.
Tell Mike Run about the magic moment, the day it suddenly all went right for you.
Well, I don't know if I have that magic moment yet, but it's still an ongoing process. And there are, obviously points of this journey that I do have those moments. But as an entrepreneur, to be honest, I think there are more moments of like frustration and challenges. And then there are, micro moments where you feel validated, like you are doing the right thing. And that comes from, the community of people on TapeReal and their happiness with the product and their use of the app. For me, that is an ongoing validation piece. But it comes with challenges. We at one point had some trolls that came onto the app and started spamming people. So we had to address that. There was a moment where, we decided to charge people because we don't have ads and we don't, mine people's data. So we were going to charge them membership fees to, record and participate in the community. But that didn't work out. That actually ended up backfiring. People got a little bit upset. It resulted in some churn. And so it's an ongoing learning process. And I would say the mistakes help you continue to pivot, and those little wins along the way, where people, have that light bulb moment and realize, hey, this is kind of a cool thing to work with. Those are the moments that keep me going on this journey.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
The most important thing I've learned is it's important to have a purpose behind your business. If your purpose is to just make money, then, it might or might not be successful. But to truly have an impact on the world, you need to have some kind of purpose and some kind of alignment to that purpose, so that you can wake up every day and realize, hey, this is why I'm doing this. And that comes from understanding your purpose.
What is the most dangerous belief an entrepreneur can have?
I think the most dangerous belief is to think that that there is no competition, or that people won't copy you. Sometimes, or even sometimes that'll prevent you from even sharing your idea, and it can actually be a hindrance. But people will, when people copy you, it's actually a good thing, because it helps validate your idea and the direction that you're going in. And competition, it's always going to be there, and that's what keeps me going, or it should keep you going as well, because it's a competitive market out there, and you have to compete in order to win.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
I would say it's not a thing. I would say it's my attention and time. I think, we wake up every day with a certain number of seconds and minutes in our bank account, and we have to make a conscious decision every single day. Who are we giving those minutes and seconds to, and for what purpose, and what kind of value is it adding to your own life and to other people's lives? So I think keeping that in mind is very important.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
I would say, taking action. Sometimes, you can have ideas, you can, have a vision, but if you don't take that first step, and you don't take and continue taking those steps to go in that direction, you can't be successful. And so when I want to do something or when I set my mind to something, I break it down into tasks and look at, okay, what's the first step I need to do to move in this direction? And I think taking that action, sometimes can involve some risk, and you have to be comfortable with that risk. You have to be comfortable with a potential loss or a failure.
Grounds you.
What grounds me?
Okay.
Sitting on the earth, literally sitting on the ground and touching the earth, and I feel like that's the best way to demagnetize yourself from all the electronics that you're always exposed to. So I feel grounded by the earth and also by my family.
Do you have a mentor or a business coach in your business?
My father, I would say, is probably my biggest mentor and coach. Aside from that, I mean, I'm looking for one, and I think a mentorship is also, as Simon Sinek says, it's a two-way street. It's not just about getting something from your mentor. It's about also giving back to your mentor and learning. And so it's a mutual relationship.
What is the most valuable thing your father has told you?
The most valuable thing that my father has told me is that you can't stop talent. And the way he described it is that it's talent is like a rubber ball. People will try and throw it down, but because it's a rubber ball, it bounces right back up. And that's the way talent is. It bounces back and it continues, going forward. And the harder you hit it on the ground, the more higher it bounces right back up.
What is one thing no one knows about you?
That no one knows. Oh man, you're asking for some pretty deep and dark secrets, aren't you?
Okay, your family. We can let your family.
I would say that maybe that I'm a very spiritual person. I don't really show it or preach it to people. I feel like it's a very personal thing, but that's something that I don't really share all the time.
Tell us how to understand the data and make it actionable.
I think it's important to understand the context of data, and also to look at it from different angles. I've had a career in analytics, and so sometimes you can present a report, but it's meaningless if you don't add the context. And by context, I mean, what's the story behind the data? What is it? What is it trying to tell us in terms of a story? Once you understand the story, then you can start to take action on that data. Otherwise, it's just a chart, and it's just data. The other thing is there's so much data. It can also lead to analysis paralysis, because it's like you don't know where to start, you don't know what to look at. And so it's important to identify the key performance indicators that are relevant to your business, the market stats that are relevant to your business, and to look at how those KPIs, how taking action on those KPIs can drive your business forward.
Let's talk about your business. Tell us more about it and what is real and who is this for?
So TapeReal.com is basically the opposite of what traditional social media, YouTube, and audio video platforms are out there. It's built around more meaningful human connection. It has no ads. We don't mine your data. There's no algorithms. And because we don't have ads, we're not trying to get you hooked and engaged, on the platform so that we can serve you more ads. And that's what makes us different, where we like to think that we are a more human first platform and creator first platform. And we want to build a place where people can be themselves. They can share their authentic selves, whether it's their own creativity, their thoughts, whether they want to learn or teach. And so it's built around the ethos of, being a better person. And there's, in my opinion, on traditional social media, there's a lot more polarization, toxicity. There's a lot of fake stuff, and you have to keep up with a lot of the noise. And so we're trying to build a community that's a little bit more mindful, meaningful, and artistic and creative at the same time, where there is no pressure.
Where can we find it?
So you can learn more about it on TapeReal.com, and you can download our app from the App Store. We're only available on iOS at this time. And it's open to anybody who is a creator or has something to share and with the world. And so if you want to meet real people, having genuine conversations and dialogue, TapeReal is the place to find it.
And you said it's free, you don't charge.
Yeah, so the app is free to download. The way we make money is we are actually launching the ability for creators to make money on TapeReal. And, when they make money, we'll make money. And so we do a 80-20 revenue share split. And so creators can keep 80% of the revenue, and TapeReal gets 20% for helping out. And we also have some growth plans that you can purchase to increase your exposure on the app, as opposed to trying to figure out what an algorithm does, right? Like on YouTube, you have to beat the algorithm, or Instagram, you got to beat the algorithm to make sure you reach as many people as possible. Well, with TapeReal, we have some growth plans that you can purchase that give you some premium benefits that automatically give you that exposure without, giving you burnout or fatigue.
So, Glenn, there will be more from Ali in a moment. If you are listening on one of the many podcasting platforms rather than my website and you are encouraged by Ali's journey, go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for a bonus collection of 277 audio clips. The Online Success Journey is a membership community built for people searching for the path to success. We are one big clan, and you can be part of this community for free. Selected Interviews offers members-only audio clips from over 270 guests' journeys, all designed to help you find the right path for your own online success journey. Ali, your success journey is amazing. My clan still have more questions.
Sure.
If your business was down to its last $100, how would you invest it?
Well, $100 is not a lot. If you're down to $100, I think back to, I believe it was Bill Gates who said it, that if he's down to his last few dollars, what would he spend it on? Well, he would spend it on PR. So I think I would probably do the same, and then maybe go out and have some dinner. Yeah.
On 100. Thank you. What is the best business book you have ever read?
The best business book. Well, the best business book I have read, I would say, is I've read many, but the one that has had an impact on my business is really not a business book. It's actually a book on neuro-linguistic programming. It's called Frogs into Princes. And it just talks about like human nature and the way we perceive the world, and so it gets more into the psychology of things. And I think that's had an impact on my business.
If you are going to keep a note to yourself in your pocket every day, what would be written on it?
This too shall pass.
Do you feel like you succeeded or like you're only on the way?
I think, every day that you're alive is a success. If you are waking up and you have the your senses and your good health to experience this world, that in and of itself is a success. Everything else is just details, and I think it's an ongoing journey.
Remind us how we can connect with you.
Well, you
once
can
more.
find me on TapeReal. If you get the app, you can follow me. I'm at Ali, and if you ever want to chat on TapeReal, feel free to give me a call. I'm happy to speak to you, whether it's audio or video. And I'm also on LinkedIn if anybody wants to reach out. I'm not too active on Facebook, Instagram. The occasional Twitter I'll do, but TapeReal is probably the best place to find me.
Ali, it's been great to have you here to share your online success
Thank you so much,
journey
Patience,
with
for
us.
having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Ali.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Patience and her guest and want you to know there are hundreds of episodes available at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Patience would like to thank you for listening to the podcast, and she has a free gift for you on our website, including an audio compilation of her guests' best tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. Additionally, there are special clips of over 250 episodes that have never aired on the podcast, and they're only available to members of the Online Success Journey. Check the website and click on Join Now to get free and instant access. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed on your favorite platform to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review the podcast at iTunes and other sites. We appreciate your help and your willingness to share your journey. One last thing. If you're feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed on your own journey, Patience can help. Check out her course on clarity while you're at the website. Finding clarity is a great way to get back on the right path. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.